To all of you that are saying that Rodney Hinton is some kind of national hero, let's go over a few facts. Black America makes up 14% of the U.S. population, yet accounts for 29% of the nation's firearm-related victims. Black America has been 2 times more likely to perish in firearm-related incidents than any other race in the past 2 decades. 89% of all black firearm-related homicides are perpetrated by black offenders. So you guys are killing your own people, and the black community says nothing about it. A cop unalives a child who stole a vehicle and then pointed, we don't even need to say pointed because you guys are disputing that fact, had an illegal firearm that he brandished in front of officers, and his dad runs over a cop that had nothing to do with the unalivement of his son, and you guys think that that man is a national hero. Make that make sense. So as long as it's you guys that are killing each other, everything's a-okay. Make that make sense.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So on our today's episode, we are looking at this delusional Caucasian woman, and it's crazy that most Caucasian people are actually using black crime on black to just justify white cops and Caucasian people taking away black lives, because they're like, why are you not calling out your own black members for unaliving your people, for the crimes that they are doing, for everything that they are committing on your own people? So they want to use this to justify cops unaliving melanated people for no good reason. And they only want to come and say that Rodney Jr. was wrong, and black people are disputing the fact that he was pointing a firearm at an officer, which is a lie. Because the reason as to why I'm saying this, when you actually go and do your own research, according to official accounts, Ryan Hinton, the 18-year-old son of Rodney Hinton Jr., was forcibly unalived by Cincinnati police during a stolen vehicle investigation. Police state that Ryan pointed a gun at an officer, promoting the shooting. A firearm was recovered at the scene, but there is no indication that Ryan fired it. The body camera footage is brief and blurry, making it unclear whether Ryan was holding or pointing a weapon at the time of shooting. And you want to come and create a video on social media and say that black people are disputing the fact, you know, with how the system has been against black men and black men losing their lives in the hands of policemen. There is no way, when there is no enough evidence that Ryan was actually pointing a firearm at the police officer, and you expect black people to just keep quiet and say he deserves it, as you're saying that this man deserved to lose his life in the hands of the police officers, you are wrong. And black people, of course, they are gonna talk. It's crazy that most of you are angry that even people tried to donate money to this family. It's crazy that most of you are angry that a father was trying to find justice for his son. I know an eye for an eye is not the way to go about it, but with how the system has been in the United States of America, there is nothing left for most people to do. I believe for any parent, for any mother or dad, if this was their child, I think most of you watching this video, and you're actually parents, after watching the camera footage of this video, I believe most of you would have done the same. I want us to watch these videos together. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you're seeing on your screens. If you're coming across this channel for the first time, my good name is Gracie D. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel, give this video a like, and let me know what your thoughts are on the comment section. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
You that are saying that Rodney Hinton is some kind of national hero.
Okay. Here we go, man. Y'all know what time it is, right? You see the logo? You see the logo? Okay, so let's get it, right? Let's turn up. So I was having a good day until I saw this video. Now I'm having a great day, right? So let's go. So if you watch this video in its entirety, this is a fucking Basset Hound smelling bitch up here talking about black on black crime and Rodney Hinton, right? So for the record, we never said Rodney Hinton was a hero, but we did say he was dad of the century. It's a big difference, right? So, but anyway, let's keep it moving. So now she jumps on talking about black on black crime. But let me just say this first. I want to apologize to the good white people, because there's some decent white people out there that understand. But to you fucking TikTok motherfuckers, this for you. So let's go. Now, white people like to talk about black on black crime, right? So let's talk black on black crime. Now let's talk white on white crime, right? Now, isn't there two white women on trial right now for dismembering their parents and putting them in the oven? And you want to talk about black on black crime? Now, if you go back to y'all whole history from the Caucasus Mountain till now to Europe, y'all used to eat each other. Y'all used to consume each other. That's facts, right? This is why y'all over here, because ain't nothing over there. So y'all came here because this is where food at, where you don't have to be eating your little brother and your little sister, huh? You don't have to be cooking you don't have to be baking your mama, right? Okay, so you want to talk about black on black crime, right? So let's talk Fed numbers. Now, the Feds clearly states that a white woman, the same one that white man tells, I love you, you're my bestie, will you just have my kids or whatever, that white man is 10 times more likely to kill that white woman, his wife or his girlfriend, than any other race on the planet. 10 times. The same woman he sleep with, the same woman he loved, he is 10 times more likely to kill her than any other race. So you want to talk about black on black crime, right? Now, let's do this. Y'all over here, we didn't invade y'all. Y'all invaded us, because y'all smell all that pot roast and fucking ham hocks and neck bones, right? Y'all smell all that good shit, so y'all want to run over here. Okay, but let's get it. Let's keep it going, because you on some bullshit. Now, there's a reason why they have birthright protection. The reason why they have birthright protection is because most of y'all are born with antennas. So y'all can't leave the hospital till they cut off your tail. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. So when you talk that bullshit about us, just take a look at y'all. Just take a look at y'all. We don't come with the tails and shit, right? Now, so when you talk about violence and crime, just go through the world. Just go through the world. Y'all whole history is unaliving people. That's y'all whole history, bruh. Y'all cannot be decent people. But I guess that comes from being soulless, right? I guess that comes from jealousy, because y'all don't have anything. The only thing y'all brought over here is a bunch of STDs. That's all y'all brought. Nothing to the world. Nothing to the human civilization. Everything y'all brought is destruction. So when you talk about black on black crime, because y'all quick to throw that up, let's just look at your own race, right? Let's just look at your own race, you tick-toting motherfucker. You tick-toting motherfucker. You can't even run around the block for 5 minutes without coming back smelling like a fucking basset hound. Okay, so, but let me just say this. The next time you get liquored up or take too much of your grandma pills and want to get on this and going to grab your phone and get on this app, call me first. Call me first. I'm Lamar. Y'all be safe. Peace.
To all of you.
Well, you're loud and racist. So just as an FYI, black on black crime isn't a thing. It's not. It's proximity crime. You can go ahead and look into that if you can read that well. But also, since you want to talk about numbers, and we're talking about Rodney Hinton, a black man is more than 3 times more likely to be unalived by police than a white man. That's according to a Harvard study done in 2020. I've said this before and I'm going to keep saying it. White people, especially the ones like you, need to shut the fuck up about this.
To all of you that are saying that Rodney Hinton is some kind of national...
Shh, white lady. This is about us, not you. This is why you can't understand what's going on, because you haven't been persecuted for the last 400 years. Your kids don't have to have guns pointed at them in any capacity ever. For you to say how a young kid can think in the act of being racially profiled. You see, get your facts straight. because the car wasn't stolen. The fucking car dealership called the police because it was failed payment. He didn't never stole the car. He had money. This is why we have to break away from you white people, because y'all always got y'all business and y'all nose into the God's business, like y'all can't mind y'all own shit, and it's ridiculous. This man is a fucking hero because he did something to go against the status quo that gun us down every motherfucking day. Because it's not just this kid getting unalived, mind you, from running from the police. Mind you, if you've seen my video earlier today, I showed a white man brandishing an AR-15, pointing it right at the cop, not just showing it around in traffic, pointing right at the cop for the cop to back up. And then they let this white man get back in his vehicle and drive off for 2 or 3 minutes before the cops then come back around and guess what? Arrest this man, a grown man, right? With no harm done to him. Yet, you're talking about a kid brandishing a weapon when there are literally white people pointing their weapon at the cops and are still alive. Man, please sit the fuck down at least 3 times and stop talking about black people culture, because you have no clue what the fuck you talking about. You have no clue on how our people feel, literally trying to live amongst you people, because y'all don't even know that you guys are the demons. Because all those white cops, please tell me any one of them where their origin comes from. I bet you they do not fucking know, because they come from a demonic origin. White folks do not have origin anywhere. And so when black folks call this man a hero, he literally sacrificed his life so that way people can have awareness that we have people that are not our people, call themselves Americans, in America, living in our land, killing our children, but yet you want to come on this app to talk about shit that you have no fucking clue about. And this is why we have to separate from you guys, because you guys are not equal. And instead of looking at this black man and wondering why everybody's got his back, you're doing the white thing to try to put you guys back in a good light to justify a white cop killing a kid when they have procedures in play that could have saved that kid's life and brought him in, and we could have did justice the right way. But you see, the whiteness in these police departments, they don't want to do things the right way, even though they try to tell us to do things the right way. Because a fucking grown-ass man killed a fucking kid, and I don't hear or see the TikTok of white community telling that this man was wrong. It's you motherfuckers that are trying to find justification as to why a grown-ass man killed a little-ass boy. But we got grown-ass men pointing guns at other grown-ass men, but you don't see them quick to drop them simply because they're white. So, man, please stay out of black folks' business. Sit the fuck down and watch the gods take over.
You know, I've been watching these videos of many Caucasian people reacting on what Rodney Hinton did. And it's crazy because when you look at a case of like a man by the name Luigi Magione, who actually unalived a healthcare CEO, he was fighting for justice that the system failed to fight for. The same thing that this man was doing, or this man did, he was fighting for justice for his son. To you, it may not be seen like that. And the reason as to why he actually took this step is that we've seen the system multiple times failing the black community when it comes to justice, especially when their own people are unalived by cops. most of them just get fired, or most of them just get like 5 to 10 years sentencing. But when you see a black person committing the same crime or unaliving a Caucasian person, they may even face to a lifetime sentence. But this is not the case when it comes to these policemen. And when you look at the number of times that black people have been alived by Caucasian cops, this is why they are tired of what's happening and what has been happening. And this is why this dad was like, there is no way. I've seen this happening to my people. Till when will it stop? Because even the investigation, when they did their investigation, they still don't have enough evidence as to what people are saying that Ryan was actually holding or pointing a firearm at the police officer. And this woman, she came up with her own research, and she actually came and said like she has her own statistics. And I was looking at that homicide statistics by race in the US. And the most recent available data is most black homicide victims are unalived by other black individuals. And this is actually not unique to the black community. The same pattern exists in other racial groups due to proximity and social dynamics. And she wanna label this as a ratio thing. Over 80% of black homicide victims are unalived by black offenders. Similarly, about 80 to 85% of white homicide victims are unalived by white offenders. You see, she just chose to, go and just talk on black people. And she just took this part to make the black community look bad. And let's look at the factors that are actually contributing to this: poverty and income inequality, systematic racism and segregation, high incarceration rates and under-resourced communities, limited access to mental health care, education and employment opportunities, prevalence of illegal firearms in high crime areas. This issue is rooted in structural and socio-economic conditions, not inherent to any race. And experts stress that as to what this woman is doing, trying to frame this as a racial issue rather than a systematic and public health one, can lead to harmful stereotypes and ineffective policies. But this is what most Caucasian people have been doing best, trying to stereotype everything when it comes to the black community. So I went on ahead and decided to look at homicide statistics among white Americans. According to the FBI's 2019 expanded homicide data, approximately 78.6% of white homicide victims were unalived by white offenders. This trend is consistent with historical data. For instance, from 1980 to 2008, about 84% of white homicide victims were unalived by white offenders. Yeah, and it's just crazy when someone just feels they're okay to sit down and create a video stereotyping the black community, whereas the same thing that she's sitting down and creating videos talking about the black community is also happening in her community. She just chose to go and research and bring us the data of black crime on black people to us and to people who follow and believe what she has to say, because we've actually seen and they've known about their community. Most of them they'll see a video or they'll just believe anything someone has said when they even have the privilege to go on ahead and search or do a research for themselves, but most of them ignore that. And this is why you find most of the times that black people, the most things that people think about black people or what we've been taught or told about the black Americans in the United States of America, they're just stereotypes that people like her just decide to sit down and give a story or just come and create videos about black people. And people that don't bother to do their own research, they believe it, and this ends to be a stereotype about the black community, which is why people should be doing their own research and not believing everything that a person is coming and saying on social media. Thank you so much for watching up to this part. I'd really love to know what your thoughts are on this, especially if you're a Caucasian person or watching this. Do you also want to justify what Caucasian police officers are doing to melanated men just because there is black crime on black? That does not even justify someone unaliving a person just because it's happening in their community. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching up to this part, and until the next episode, bye.